Yeah, buddy. Just trying to get things set up. We ain't got much to talk about. I don't like the lighting either. I may have to move you guys. I may have to move you. Douglas, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the lighting of this. I set you guys up somewhere else. Because I use the phone to do the live feeds. So I put it on the clip, put the sun visor down, and put it up on that. Yeah. 30 hours, man.
Say a command.
Oh, already? You're gonna start with me already. I swear to God, she never says anything until I go live. I gotta see if I can find a setting to change that thing. What's going on, Casey? How you doing, buddy? I'm wondering if they pay per diem. Yes, they do. If you're talking about Crete, yes, they pay per diem. Oh, I'm just moving some stuff around. I may end up having to move you guys. What the hell was that? Is the other lady in your life besides April? Who, the ghost? I got a ghost. Hang on, I gotta move you guys. It's gonna turn into a nip video before long. There's a little more better. I'm in PA heading to Washington State. Nice, Trucker Will was just there. You guys will probably pass each other. I liked the camera up high. Oh, alright. Maybe I'll put it back up there then. Zoe said, yeah, buddy, she's been waiting on you to go live. Hi, Zoe. Funny thing is, I'm actually not too far from you guys. I'm in Kenly, North Carolina. Not far at all. Alright, hang on. People like this better. Let's see if I can put this up here and not screw this up. And oh, alright. There, I'll pull the iPad. You know, I was going to do something a little bit different. I was going to put everything up on the laptop and then use the webcam. But then my microphone wouldn't work. So, and then the microphone that I technically have for the computers is at home. So, Douglas says, that's better. Thanks, yes. I'm looking to come over. Alright, so everybody give Zoe a shout out. Say, yeah, buddy. I got a video I'm working on for little Miss Zoe. How's the miles for you? Crazy. I've been, well, look at the title of the video, 30 hours. I'm in Massachusetts, going to Deadhead to Delaware to pick up a load going to Michigan. Michigan. I'm actually picking up a load here later tonight in North Carolina. The load's ready now, but man, I needed a break. So it's a preloaded trailer. I can pick it up whenever, and it drops off whenever. So the way I was told, it was run at your own leisure. So, see, you know, when I have the camera like this, you can see my bed's not made. I just woke up, by the way. I woke up and no, this video's not sponsored, but Yeah, buddy. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But I happened to stop at a Pilot because they had a Dunkin'. Yeah, buddy. Let's see. That's neat. My husband said hopefully one day when he has home we could meet. Yeah. One of these days. You're lucky getting to load to Washington State from North Carolina. No, I'm not going to Washington State. I was reading what Casey was doing. Casey said he's going to Washington State. The load I'm picking up picks up here in North Carolina, and I'm taking it up to Illinois somewhere. In fact, let me look. I didn't really look at the load much other than the fact that it was already done, ready to go, and that it was picking up not too far from where I'm at. I'll give you the details here in just a minute. Take it easy. Where are we going? What the hell? Okay, so I lied. That's not what she said. It picks up in Stewart's Draft, Virginia. And it's going to Edwardsville, Illinois. That is not at all what she said. I'm going to have to look at that because what she told me and what that load is, it's two totally different things. Let's see. Hang on, guys. I got to catch up, man. You guys are quick with these comments. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to Zoe. Let's see. But you're bright and shiny from up high. Yeah, I know. That's why I was putting it down there and change it. But that's all right. You know, shiny on one side, dull on the other. That's the personality. Skeletor, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Zoe says, hi, everyone. Must be Georgia Pacific. Yeah, I think it is. We meet at Atlanta, Bonnet, and Kennesaw, Georgia when you pulled up when I was leaving. Oh! Gregory, yes. I remember who you are now. Yeah, that place was a freaking zoo. Yeah. So anyways, the reason why I've been up for 30 hours. Been wanting to chat with you, need guidance. I'm here, brother. You know how to get a hold of me. You can either comment on here, email me, truckeral001@yahoo.com, or catch me on Facebook. We got the Trucker Al page, obviously. And we also have on Facebook Trucker's Paradise. So you guys can catch me on there as well. What do you need? I got you, Martin. So, the original load that I had picked up from New York was going down to Georgia. Now, yesterday, everything went to crap. Yesterday morning, my original appointment time was for Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., so today, 10 o'clock this morning. Then it changed to Thursday at 10 o'clock, which gave me a whole extra day. So I figured, all right, well, I'm going to be sitting around for a day, so I'll do a live video on YouTube. Maybe I'll do a Facebook video or whatever. So then it changed again. And then they changed it to 11 o'clock Wednesday. So it went originally 10 o'clock Wednesday, 11 o'clock Thursday, or 10 o'clock Thursday, 11 o'clock Wednesday. So now, I find a place to shut down at. I do what I need to do post-trip, go in, coffee, drinks, whatever, come out, sleeper berth, go to bed. I'm in bed maybe 20 minutes, and all of a sudden my phone rings. Now, this is where Trucker Al needs to learn to take his own advice. As soon as I looked at the phone, I saw that it was our Lincoln, Nebraska terminal, which is our headquarters. And I'm looking at the phone, and my first thought was, no, let it go. I'm technically on sleeper berth. I'm already in bed. I don't want to deal with anybody's crap. They can leave a voicemail. Nope. Hello. Hey, Al, this is so-and-so from Lincoln, and we need you to do a T-call on this load. I got a driver that's coming up from Texas, and he's carrying pharmaceuticals. It's got to go to North Carolina. He doesn't have enough time on his clock. So I need you to swap loads. And the way that it was kind of expressed was I pretty much didn't have a choice. Apparently, I was the only driver in the area that could have done it. Granted, there was 8 other Schaefer trailers and drivers in the Love's parking lot that I was in. But apparently, I'm the only one. So, usually when somebody asks me to do them a favor, I try to do my best to, do it for them. And I knew better because the other 3 times that I've done a T-call load for Schaefer, I get screwed over. I lose money, I lose mileage, I lose time. Freaking bug flying around. So the last 3 times I've done it, I've gotten screwed over on it. So I, in my head, thought to myself, don't do it. Don't do it. No, of course. Sure, I'll do it. She goes, okay, great. He's about 2 hours away from you. I says, all right, that'll work. I says, that'll give me time. I can run in, go grab something to eat, take a shower. By the time I get done, he'll be here. Well, in a perfect world, 2.5 hours turned into 4.5. And then, once he gets there, there's no parking. I mean, it was just a small little Love's, nothing extravagant. So he turns around, stops in the middle of the road, and he calls me on the phone, and he tells me he's going to leave the trailer right there. I said, no, the hell you're not. I says, I'm in a parking spot, and when you hook up to this trailer, you're shutting down, so you're going to have a parking spot, and you're going to leave me out in the middle of the road? I said, no, you're not. I says, call me back when you find a parking spot. Now, it took almost an hour for him to find and get into a parking spot. So he finally gets back then. We disconnect from the trailers. We swap the paperwork, explain the loads to each other. He hooks up to that trailer. I hook up to this one. So now I get back in the truck, do the computer work. I do my paperwork. Now I can go get some sleep. Well, I'm glad I did the computer work and the paperwork ahead of time because, I did my trip planning and realized that this load delivers at 8 o'clock this morning. Now, my clock's reset at 12:15 last night, and it's now 9:30 at night. I haven't even slept yet. So now I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I'm still 360 miles away. So in order for me to get there on time, I still got to get fuel. There's a 29-mile section of construction that was down to 35 miles an hour. I'm thinking to myself, I've got to leave as soon as my clock starts at 12:15. Now, I turn around, get into bed, say about 9:30 or whatever, 9:45. And now I can't sleep because I'm thinking to myself, I set 2 different alarms, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to wake up in 2.5 hours. There's no way. I'm going to sleep right through that alarm. So now I can't sleep. All of a sudden, 12:15. Got to start my clock. So I get up, go into the Love's, grab my coffee, come out, pre-trip the truck, and pull up to the fuel aisle, grab my fuel, and away I go. So luckily enough, Trucker Will was driving last night too. So, April was up late last night, so I had her on the phone. Talked to Trucker Will for most of the night. But it was one of those, we're going to run on coffee and 5-hour energies. I haven't taken a 5-hour energy drink in quite a while, and last night was the night. So that explains why I was up for 30 hours, because I woke up at 4 o'clock yesterday morning, drove all day long, shut down, dealt with that crap, started driving again at 12:30 last night, and drove all night long, did the delivery at 8 o'clock this morning. Then they sent me over my next load, which, like I said, it picks up any time. It's already done and ready to go. So it was, to me, I could have kept running, but I'm like, no, I need to go to bed. So I found this Pilot here that had a Dunkin', and I'm like, all right, perfect. I can go in, get some sleep. When I get up, I got good coffee. Yeah, buddy. Trucking with Otis. What's going on? Well, let's see. I'm ready now, waiting to get unloaded in the morning at Preferred Freezer in Westfield, Massachusetts. All right, yeah, I was just there not that long ago. You're right around the corner from my father. As you know, I've been following you for a while. Finally got to this point. Been on a trainer's truck for 3 days, having a really hard time. It hit me like a ton of bricks. All right. Douglas says, I just liked your Facebook page. Thank you, Douglas. Appreciate it. Martin, first 80 days, drove from California to Virginia at 600 miles a day. I'm overwhelmed. It's been raining and went through a hailstorm at night as well. Welcome to truck driving. I thought you was Creekside. No, I'm Schaefer side. Every now and then I'll do a couple of Crete loads, to help out or whatever. But no, I'm on the Schaefer side. Martin says, I've slept 10 hours in the last 3 days. Martin, what you're going through is perfectly normal. As any truck driver will tell you, the first 6 months is your biggest struggle. Now, I mean that on a financial basis. As far as everything else, as far as getting used to being out on the road, the mental part of it, being able to sleep and stuff like that, give it a week or so. Driving through a hailstorm at night. I mean, me and Trucker Will were running all night last night, and it rained all night long. And that's one of the biggest things that I can't stand, is driving at night in the rain. So, but last night I didn't have a choice. I had to get this load here. I had to, my rates are, I'm 100% on time rate. I always have been. And I wasn't going to let this load screw that statistic up. So, even all night long it rained. I mean, we get into situations that we don't want to be in, but it takes a little bit of time to get comfortable in it. As far as, sleeping and, while the truck is moving, that's going to take some getting used to. Until you can become a solo driver, sleep when you can. I mean, it's, the thing that you need to remember, especially being on a trainer's truck, and any driver will tell you this, you're on a trainer's truck, okay? You're learning to operate this vehicle. You're learning to do the computer work. You're learning to do the paperwork. You're learning the aspects of the job. It is not your job as a student to run 600 miles a day. If you have a trainer that is forcing you to run 600 miles a day, you either need to have a chat with your trainer, or you need to call your office and explain to them that you need a new trainer. You should not, the only reason why he's forcing you to do 600 miles a day, if that's what he's doing, is because he's getting paid for that. And that's what his mentality is, what he's getting paid to train you. He's not too concerned about your well-being and you actually learning the job itself. So what I would do, I mean, if you're driving, especially if you're driving at night, which, I mean, a lot of I did it too. A lot of trainers will have the students drive at night, only because the way that I used to look at it was, if you could drive at night, you're going to be perfectly fine during the day. So the hardest part is driving at night and getting your body adapted to the nightlife, because your schedule can change like that. I mean, just look at yesterday. I drove all day long, day shift, all day long. When I shut down, next thing you know, I'm driving all night long. Your schedule is going to flip-flop like that constantly. It takes a little while to get used to it. Kendall says, hey, Trucker Al, what's going on, Kendall? How you doing, buddy? April says, sucks you can't sleep more. Man, story of my life. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Down the back roads of Alabama from I-22 to I-2059, Tuscaloosa, Al for nothing. Alright. April chimed in, took over the stream. That driver was a dumbass. Yeah, I remember when Creed trucks were red. Schaefer trucks were blue. Yeah, I don't know. It's all mixed up now. I mean, now it's, I mean, obviously the trailers are blue, Creeds are red, Schaefers are blue. But as far as the trucks go, no, it's a crapshoot as to what truck you end up in. You can end up with a blue one or a red one. Trainer says I'm doing great, but I'm freaking out. If the trainer says you're doing great, then, you know, as far as you freaking out, that's on you, man. Relax. Just remember this. Dude, it's a job. I mean, okay, it's a career. It's a great career. But don't let it beat you up like that. That's not what this is about. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, you know, what you're going through. Enjoy what you're seeing. Enjoy the experience. You know, you got to learn to look at it a little bit differently. Yes, it is scary, you know, in the beginning. You're driving the largest vehicle on the road. Try to focus on enjoying what you're doing. Jax, ready to go on the truck with me? Oh, you must be talking about April. Jax and April's got a little thing going on. They're talking about riding and teaming together. April will ride with Jax. She won't drive, Jax, so hang that up. If you can get her to drive, she's all yours. Yeah, so Martin, I mean, it's like I said, try to focus on enjoying what you're doing. The more you try to get away from the fear part of it, the easier that this is going to be. And the more you're going to learn. Because your trainer's probably trying to teach you different things, but you have this overwhelming fear inside of you to where, yeah, you might be hearing what he's saying, but you're not processing it. Which is creating, you know, it's making it harder for you to actually learn what you need to be doing. This job's not hard, man. I mean, it takes time. You're not going to turn around, get into a truck, and within a week, you're a professional. It's not what this is about. It's going to take some time. You know, look at, you know, my buddy Nip. I don't know if any of you guys follow him or whatnot, but I mean, he's been driving just as long as I have. And he got into an accident the other day. I mean, going through a construction zone, he was in the right lane, another truck came by, was about 75%, you know, past him, but the rear end of that guy's trailer ended up taking out, you know, Nip's mirror. Things are going to happen. You know, some of it's preventable, some of it's not. You know, just take each day And now I'm gonna go back to this video and watch it because I'm very good at giving advice. I suck at taking it. But you know, try to take each day, you know, and before you start driving, take a nice deep breath and say, we are going to enjoy this. This is going to be a good day. And then run down with it. He's showing me Qualcomm sliding tandems. I mean, when it comes to these videos, oh, maybe it's not a video. He's showing you the Qualcomm and sliding tandems. Yeah. Sliding tandems is fun. I mean, it is what it is. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? He's not forcing me. It just ends up that much. You know, if you're comfortable doing 600 miles, have at it. I mean, run it. I mean, I don't know if you're getting paid by the mile, paid by the hour, or a set rate, but that really doesn't matter. Look at it like this. The more you're working, the more experience you're getting, and the more comfortable you're going to get. And the faster, you know, that you'll be comfortable. Driving over the Mississippi, was scared as hell. Yeah, wait till you go drive through downtown Dallas. Trucking isn't a hard job, just takes time, common sense, and keep your eyes on the road. Yep, exactly. See? You know, and the thing you got to remember is everybody's different. Everybody learns different. You know, some people, they pick it right up. Other people, it takes a little while. I mean, it's, you know, hopefully you got a trainer that is, you know, understanding to that. You know, and like I said, just, here's a piece of advice. And this is what I tell everybody. You're going to learn more on your own than you do with your trainer. Your trainer is there to teach you the basics. He's there to get you comfortable with the length and the width of the truck and how heavy it gets. So, again, your trainer is there to teach you the basics. It's up to you to learn the rest. You know, when it comes to backing, I don't know what your skills look like when it comes to backing, but my rule of thumb with that is you're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. There's times I'll whip this thing into a parking spot, one shot, no pull-ups in between two freaking custom-built Peterbilts, and don't care. Other times I'll have 3 parking spots wide open and I got to do 3 freaking pull-ups to get it into one of them. I mean, when it comes to backing, you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days. Let's see, but everyone drives like assholes. Now you're a truck driver. Welcome to trucking. Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself, Martin. See? You know, it's like I say to you guys all the time, you know, in these videos, it's one thing watching these videos, you know, the videos that we create. You know, I show a lot of driving footage in my videos. In fact, I got to reset these freaking GoPros. I was going to do a video on that vlog going down to Georgia, but that whole thing got all screwed up, and so I'm just going to clear them and start over. Maybe I'll vlog this. I can't even vlog this one unless you guys want to see a night shift. I don't know. We'll get to the videos later, but yeah, people drive like idiots out here. 4-wheelers. Wait, other truck drivers. Oh, yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to get out of this truck and rip another truck driver out of their truck and just try to beat some common sense into them. Let's see. And that's coming from someone that's not a trucker yet. Well, you think you hate people now, just wait until you become a trucker and then you'll be hating people. Yeah. I mean, it's if you have road rage, which I used to, when I was younger, I would. Oh my God, my road rage was horrible back in the day. At my age now, I just shake my head. Sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a guy, he cut me off yesterday. He was 23 feet in front of me. Now, it doesn't sound too horrible, but when you're running 65 miles an hour and my entire truck weighed 77,000 pounds, and then some pickup truck cuts me off and he's 23 feet in front of me. Normally, I would have pulled the air horn. I would have been all over it, and I didn't even bother. In fact, I was on the phone with April and she was just like, "I'm surprised you didn't blow the air horn." It's like, why bother? What's it gonna do? Let him know that he's a dumbass? I'm sure he already knows. So, if you got road rage, focus on calming down because it's going to get out of control out here. Not a big fan of the Smoky Mountains at night. Smoky Mountains. That ain't shit. Wait till you go see the sisters at night. Let's see. My student driven 55 and 65 mile an hour zone. I understand why. If your student's doing 55 and a 65, let him do 55 and a 65. That's what he's comfortable with. You turn around and tell him, say, hey, the speed limit's 65, and you force him to go to 65, now you've got somebody doing 65 miles an hour in an 18-wheeler that's nervous. So if he's comfortable at 55, let him go. Everybody will go around you eventually. Don't worry about everybody else. And that's another thing, Bart. If I can give you any piece of advice, don't worry about anybody else. 99.9% of this job is defensive driving. Just worry about you. Don't worry about the other trucks, behind you. Don't worry about the trucks in front of you or on each side of you. If you got a truck that's on the side of you and you guys are pretty much just pacing it together, you be the one to slow down. Let him go. What's the rush? Let's see. What's your company's top speed limit? 65. Our trucks are governed at 65, but like going downhill, I think before we get a speed violation, we have to be doing 70 miles an hour or more for 3 minutes. That'd be one hell of a hill. But no, our trucks are governed at 65. Got passed by like 80 trucks last night. That's all right. I'm doing 65. I got passed by 80 trucks last night. That's what I've been telling my students. Do what he feels safe. Yes, to an extent. Do what you feel is safe, but don't be a problem either. Don't create a problem. So, I mean, if he's safe doing 45 and a 65, he's doing 20 miles an hour under the speed limit. I mean, just like what Martin's talking about, you got trucks that are doing 75, 80 miles an hour. You got somebody that's doing half of that, you're the problem. So do what you feel is safe, but don't become the problem. What is the rush? You're getting paid by the mile. Why rush? Exactly. Rushing ain't going to get you anywhere. I mean, it's, if you got somebody doing, say 75 miles an hour. Okay, look at it like this. I do 65 miles an hour, straight shot. You get somebody that blows past me doing 75. Well, here in the trucking industry, we have 2 seasons. Our seasons are winter and construction. So when he comes up 75 miles an hour, all of a sudden, construction zone, 45 miles an hour. You're coming up doing 65. It's funny how many times people will blow past me like I'm at a dead stop. And in a matter of 5 minutes, I'm right up their ass because they got slowed down by a construction zone. So you doing 75 miles an hour, putting not only your own life at risk, I mean, you are in a semi-truck running, up to 80,000 pounds. You shouldn't be doing 75 miles an hour. But you are now in the same exact spot that I'm in, and I'm doing 65. Safely. Rushing isn't going to get you anywhere. In fact, here's something for you. I find that when you're in a rush, you're going to find every asshole on the road. You're going to hit every red light, and you're going to find every construction zone and accident that are on the road. If you are in a hurry, you are going to get slowed down. That's why I said, take every single day and chillax. Just hope when that experienced driver see a starter company truck gives us a break. No. There are people out there that, we could tell just by the way you're driving or the way you're backing or, whatever. There's ways that experienced drivers can tell when we're looking at or dealing with a newer driver. But nobody gives anybody a break out here. In fact, if your trainer has a CB radio, this is something that I want you to do, Martin. If your trainer has a CB radio, before you start driving, shut that thing off. Do not have that CB radio on while you're driving, especially being a new driver, because I'm telling you, people are going to hurt your feelings. I mean, people are cruel. Casey, $5. Thanks for supporting the channel, buddy. I appreciate it. Casey's always been a big supporter of the Yeah Buddy. Yeah. Well, let's see. I just see a red truck, so I thought you was Crete. Oh, no, I'm Schaefer. I've always had a red truck. Everywhere I've been, and every company I've been with, and every truck I've ever been in, red truck. Never had anything different. Rain or snow at night sucks. Yep. Let's see, what is a rush? You're getting paid by the mile. Yeah. So, every day is going to be different. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about this job. Every drive shift is going to be different. Every day is different. Weather is different. I mean, right now, last night, I drove. Pouring rain, nighttime. It was horrible. Construction, drivers. Now, clear blue sky, sun shining, 75 degrees. It's beautiful out. And then I was sitting here looking at the weather for tonight from where I am going up towards Illinois. And it looks like more rain. Ah, well. I'm away. I am away in white truck. Yeah, Casey's always in a white truck. That's why whenever I get my CDLA, I'm going to try for night, since night and Swift are combined with each other. Yeah, we can do that. How many and what kind of animals have you hit? How many? I have no idea. I got half of a bird sticking out of my grill right now. I didn't realize that till a little while ago. But I saw, a bird flew in front of me, and I'm like, there ain't no way. I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel it in the steering wheel or anything. But I'm like, there's no way he made it. And then when I got parked here, I went into the pilot, came back out, and I saw the other half of the bird sticking out. But I hit a deer down in Texas. when I was with CR England. That was just a love tap. Knocked him on his ass. Didn't kill him. I was on an on-ramp getting on to, I think it was the I-10 from the 35. And coming around the bend. So I'm only doing, 30, 35 miles an hour, and popped him right in the hind quarters, and it knocked him down a little bit. He stood up, looked around, shook it off, jumped over the barrier, and took off. The only thing I had on that truck was the fog light in the bumper cover fed. It was all cracked and broken. We hit birds constantly. Pretty much anything on the road. Raccoons, possums. I mean, it happens. You want to avoid the deer. And if you go up to the northeast or the northwest, avoid the elk. Let's see. Bugaboo coming in 99 cents. Oh, thanks, Bug. Let's see. Swift Transportation pays $600 a week. Yeah, I'm all set with that. Mother Nature needs off her period. I gotta say, for this time of the year, it actually has, I got the window open, get out! It actually hasn't been that bad this year. I mean, you gotta remember, we're in the middle of May now, so it's gonna be tornado season pretty soon, and I mean, if you guys have been following me long enough, you know that I'm chasing this tornado if I find one. I'm all about the storms. I love driving through them, and yeah, I'm waiting for them. She's been pretty calm this year. I mean, we've had a few tornadoes, that popped up down in the southern tier. Whoop. We had the tornadoes that went through, what was it, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia. They got a couple of them that whipped up down there, but it's almost like that whole southern part, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all that whole sector right there, that became the new tornado alley. I don't know whatever happened to Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma, and I mean, whatever happened to them getting all the big major tornadoes. And the other thing that I'm finding, and I'm wondering if this is happening on purpose, is that when the tornadoes spawn up, I was there a day late or a day early, but I'm gone. It's like, as soon as I leave, okay, Al's gone, let's bring the tornadoes in. It's like I'm missing them by one day. It's pissing me off. April says, yeah, I'm done with the snow here. Oh, stop it. Ain't that bad. Careful, big guy. Don't drop that again. Yeah, it was the iPad. I have the iPad sitting here on the steering wheel, but I don't have any covers or anything, so it's just... So I'm holding it, and it's so thin, my bear claws, the thing just falls out of my hands. In northern Indiana, 1 mile, it's nice. The next minute below 40 degrees and raining and frost. Yeah. That's why we tell you out here in the driving industry, if you don't like the weather, give it 5 minutes. It'll change. You are a tornado chaser just like me. Oh man, I'm all over it. That's on my bucket list. Okay, I got 3 things on my bucket list that I want to do before I die. 1, I want to be within a mile of at least an F3 tornado. I'll be happy if I see one, off in the distance or whatever, but my goal is to be within a mile of an F3 tornado. Preferably, I'd like to be southwest of it. This way I can follow it. Because most tornadoes head east or northeast. So, but I want to be within a mile of an F3 tornado. Now, the other one I want to go on a cruise. The other one is to be in Hawaii. That's it. After I do those 3 things, I could die tomorrow. Don't care. Don't care. Yeah, we will finally be in the 70s next week. But it's Wisconsin. That could change. Oh, yeah. If you're in Wisconsin, yeah. You can be 70 today and brushing off the truck in the morning. David Stoles. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right there, David. How are you? Well, didn't you miss the tornado that destroyed Nashville? Yep, by a day. It got there the day before I did. Yep. That's what I mean. I missed the big ones by a day. I mean, I'm close. I am close. But I mean, you would think, you know, with the years that I've been out here, that, I mean, now, I did have one. I had the video going. I had one, I think it was last year. I stopped at a Love's, middle of absolute nowhere. And this Love's was the biggest hole in the wall I've ever seen in my life. It was at night, downpouring. I had the radar up on the iPad, and it was all like dark red. And I'm like, I'm not driving in this. I mean, there's people coming on the radio talking about, you know, the wind and all this other crap. I'm like, nope. So I pulled into the Love's. I only had like an hour and a half left on my clock anyway, so I just said to hell with it, I'll shut down there. So I back into a parking spot. It's downpouring. All of a sudden, I hear tornado sirens going off. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard tornado sirens live. I mean, obviously, I've heard them on TV. I've heard them on the radio or whatever, you know, watching videos. This is the first time I ever heard them live. Man, I got the window down. I got the camera going. There's truck drivers coming out of their trucks. They're running into the Love's. Everybody's screaming on the radio, you know, get out of the trucks, go into Love's, go into Love's. I'm sitting here, wrong. I'm looking around, watching the video. Nothing. It got real windy, but I couldn't see anything. The next morning, I find out the tornado went right in front of me. Right across, right in front of me. It was less than a mile. When I pulled out of the Love's in the morning, I go down the road, there's tractor trailers tipped over on their side and everything. Never saw it. So supposedly I had one that crossed right in front of me, but I didn't see it. I was parked when a tornado went by, windows rolled up, and I had sand all over the interior after. How does that happen? Came through the vents. You know, and the other thing is like, these door seals, they're not windproof, waterproof. I mean, when you're driving, roll your windows up. Can you hear the outside? If you can hear the outside, then there's gaps. But a lot of it comes through the vents. You know, it gets through the dash filters and all that stuff. It comes right through the vents. It's just like, you know, if you're driving down the road and you see a dead skunk in the road, you know how you could smell that? Because it comes through the grill, through the engine compartment, through the vents, right into the truck. Let's see. I missed the one that hit Joplin by a day. Jax, I don't know which one in Joplin you're talking about, but I know if you're talking about the big one, because Joplin, Missouri is actually the one that has the largest, most destructive, and most expensive tornado in recorded history. I don't remember exactly when that was, but I've seen that video 1,000 times. I was a firefighter for 21 years and chased tornadoes. Yeah, buddy. I wish I wanted to make a career in that, in chasing tornadoes. I mean, I used to watch all the shows and you know, that stuff, and people, you know, they get in their pickup trucks and they got the metal crates on top to avoid the hail damaging the vehicles, and that would be a dream come true. To chase tornadoes, get the video footage, and sell the footage, that'd be a dream come true. I'd be all over that. Let's see. Jeremy says, I seen an F5 in Missouri 15 years ago, took out the whole town. An F5 will take out the whole town. Holy crap. An F5 tornado. That's just... Oh. You know, I feel bad for the towns. I mean, I'm sitting here like, you know, hoping and praying that one day I see one. I want to see one out in the field, you know, where it's not hurting anything. I don't want to see one go ripping through a house that a family's in. That, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I'm not that type of person. Oh, but an F5? That's just, I'd be rendered speechless. I wouldn't even know what to say. Do you all have pre-pass? For the tolls, yes. For the weight scales, no. That's in the works, supposedly. I've heard that since I started here. In fact, they did mention something about it a couple months ago. We don't have the Qualcomm systems. We have what's called PeopleNet. And I mean, I've seen I dealt with the Qualcomm systems at CR England. I've had the Garmin systems when I was with, it was either US Express or Trans Am. And Schaefer has the PeopleNet. These PeopleNets, I would take over any system. The PeopleNet, I love this computer system. And they're stable, for the most part. Don't get me wrong, it has its problems like anything else. It is electronic, but yeah, these are much better. Supposedly, they're working on implementing a system for the weight scales, for, you know, the bypass and stuff like that. They're working on a system for that to put into these PeopleNets. But for the tolls, yes, we do. Let's see. Then you have that dead skunk smell with you all day. Yeah. That's the worst. Well, you know, I'd rather take the skunk smell. In fact, I was talking to Trucker Will earlier when we were out driving, and I must have passed one of the waste stations. Not waste. And, oh my God, that was horrible. I think that smell was in my truck for over an hour. It smelled like garbage and crap. Yes, the big one where it destroyed the Flying J. Yeah, that was a big tornado that went through Joplin there. Let's see. Haunted by a ghost. Message deleted by Skeletor. Why? We have a non-Eastern collection of America. Yeah, I don't, when I see, you know, just a couple weeks ago, I was down in Florida, and I picked up a load, and my original plan was I was just going to shut down and then just drive the following day. I have a sick thing with watching the radar. I mean, my radar's constantly coming up. And I saw this big storm coming into Georgia. And I was going up to Georgia. So instead of me shutting down, I decided, I can make it up there. I'll beat the storms there. Still find, I have enough time to get parking. And so I went racing up there just to be in the storm. And we just got rain. A little windy, but wasn't anything. If I would have known it was going to be like that, I probably wouldn't have even driven. It looked bigger than what it was. I'm still waiting for when we're going to get the workflow on PeopleNet so it can make our jobs a lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind using just the workflow app. It's kind of nice. You know, even if they just left the system the way that it is, I mean, it would be nice if they put the bypass in for the weight scales. That would be nice. Because right now, every time the weight scales open, we have to go in. We have no way to tell whether or not we're getting bypassed or not, unless it's instructed, you know, on the road signs that we're allowed to bypass. But I mean, I hate having to go into every single one that's open. And, you know, typically with me driving at night, I don't have to worry about it. I mean, every now and then you get that one that's open at, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning because the state trooper has nothing else to freaking do. But, you know, going through these weight scales, you know, if they got every single one of them open, now I got to turn around and pull into every single one of these. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. Love driving through parts of Cali where garlic is grown. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a time that I had went through Cali when the wildfires were like roaring. That was the worst. I'd take anything over that. I mean, I had a hard time breathing, and I had a student with me, so luckily enough we were able to keep moving and we got out there, you know, rather quickly. But you know, when you're driving through California and you got the wildfires going, oh, that's horrible. That's when I got to stop and, you know, I take everything out of the truck. The blanket, the sheets, everything. Everything comes out and I got to wash it all. Because you get that much smell of the smoke into your truck where you've got to wash everything. Oh, I hated that. I was driving up from lower Minneapolis to Wisconsin and a wind funnel came up from my side, which I seen it out in the field coming towards me, and it hit into my side and pushed me a bit. That was a rush. Yeah. You know, you'll find that a lot when you're going down the I-80. You know, if you're in, you know, a metropolitan area going down the 80 or whatever, nothing. Then all of a sudden there's a bridge that comes across, and on the other side of the bridge, it's nothing but open fields. So here you're coming through the town, nothing. As soon as you pass that bridge and hit the open fields, the wind comes out of nowhere. Oh, yeah. It's enough to where, you know, you're driving one-handed, all nice and comfortable. It's like, and then you grab it, it's like, whoa! Yeah, it's fun. Let's see. I got pre-pass. I pay for my pre-pass. Oh, yeah, you can get your own. I'm not doing that. My pre-pass never works in South Carolina. I don't recall ever having any problems in one particular state when I had the pre-pass before. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. Some scales in South Carolina have electric signs. Yeah. A lot of places now, they do have them. And based on the roadside construction, we all have those I-Pass 11. Yeah, the passes are nice, and that's why I said. But Crete's been talking about putting them into this people net since I started working here, and I haven't seen one step forward into that. So I don't know what's going on with them. Yeah. Oh, let's see how many likes we got. Really? We got 2 likes on this, is what I'm showing. Alright guys, let's take a moment and like Trucker Rail's video for me, please. I appreciate it. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I see 6 and 1 down. Somebody hit the down button? Anybody want to claim it? Jeremy says, you work for Crete? Yes, the company's Crete, but yes, I'm on the Schaefer side of Crete. April hit the down button. No, I highly doubt it was April. It's probably an ex. I found out that a couple of my exes watch my videos. So if you actually go back and look at my videos, you'll see like one dislike on almost every single video. We know who it is. April goes, never. We have the Easy Pass. Right. Yeah, same here. Well, the Easy Pass is for the tolls. We have that. We just don't have the pass for the weight scales. Blame everything on April. Yeah, everything's April's fault. That's how it is. Everything's her fault. No, that's not true. April says she can handle it. Yeah, she's making a blanket for Trucker Will as we speak. I don't know if she's doing it right this moment, but if had I been on the laptop, I might have been able to implement it. But she just sent me a picture of it. Pretty cool. She's doing an amazing job with that. Yeah. So, what else we got? Let me see what. Now, see with this load here. Oh yeah, I gotta figure that out. My clock's actually reset in about 10 minutes. April is one stern woman, Al. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's slowly but surely gaining her backbone. But will be an angel when she gets into my truck. Good luck. Good luck. So I need to look at some of the messages here. So because now last night when they gave me that load assignment that came up here, what I was talking about earlier, where the load I picked up from the other kid, in our computer system in the offices, they can determine whether or not we're going to be on time or not. The computer generates, if you're, averaging X amount of speed, this is about the estimated time you're going to arrive. So it determines whether or not we're going to be early, on time, or late. So last night, when they finally sent me over the load assignment and everything, the computer was showing that I was going to be late. She said that she was, the computer's generating that you're going to be about an hour late. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Now, no, that might be okay for you. It might be okay for the receiver. That's not okay for me. So, there's a couple of things that I take very seriously, and one of them is being on time, or at least doing what I can to be on time. Now, I do know, obviously, that there are things that happen that are out of my control that may cause me to be late, but I am going to do everything I can to either be early or at least on time. And like I said, right now, knock on wood, to date, I'm 100%. So last night she was telling me I was going to be an hour late. No, I'm not. So this morning driving in, I had estimated that I was going to be there between 7:15 and 7:30. My appointment time was 8. The computer's showing I'm going to be there at 9. I'm estimating between 7:15 and 7:30. So non-stop. Didn't stop for nothing. Not going right through. Yeah, in fact, I even did a little bit of speeding in certain areas, but I ended up pulling in there at 7:36. So I get a message this morning that says, Al, you are the bomb, from the lady that, set this whole thing up. She thought for sure I was going to be late, and it turned out I was 24 minutes early. She was happy. Let's see. You are dispatched on a quality load. Yes, I know. So supposedly we're going up to Stewart's Draft, Virginia. £41,000 load. Oh. You can tell the country's opening back up. All of my freaking loads are over 40,000 pounds. Oh, I know where we're going. Enterprise Drive in Edwardsville, Illinois. Been there 100 times. So, let's see. Speeding from Al? No, never. Shh. They may be watching. We have drive-wise, pre-clear. Most all way stations are passed. Yeah, I missed the drive-wise. Let's see. How many miles you get a week? I average anywhere between, I'd say 28 and 3,600 miles a week. It varies. I mean, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but if I had to throw an average on it, I'd say between 28 and 36. You just gave yourself away by shushing me. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't speed. I can't speed. I'm governed at 65. I don't know what you're talking about. Not saying I don't do 65 and a 55, but hey. It's not like I'm doing 65 and a 35. Kenworth Rider says, good evening, TA. No, pilot. We're at a pilot, not a TA. I don't know what TA is. Charles King, DM doesn't know how you trip plan. Sometimes a split sleeper gets you there. Yeah, but I didn't do an A2 split. I didn't have enough time because I blew through my whole drive shift, before. So even on an 8-2 split, I think I only had like an hour and 40 minutes, which would have did nothing. What are these people doing? It's getting to be that time where it's time for me to get out on the road. In fact, I'm gonna have one more butt here. TA for Trucker Al. Oh, I knew that. TA for Trucker Al. If I was going to message saying I was going to be an hour late, I would do 68 to 45. Like, no, I'm not going to be late. All right, Eric, I'm done. I'm done reading your messages. You're gonna get me in trouble. No, we do what we need to do safely to get the load there on time and as safe as possible. That's that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, buddy. So, Jack says, well, I have to go. Take care. Safe travels. See you April. Eric goes, I will not be silenced. Yeah, I didn't even do anything with this load. I gotta write this all up, trip plan it. 62 pedals, 65 cruise, right? Yep. and pedal to the floor. I was not with him, so no pee breaks. Right. And you know, that's the other thing is, you know, like when I got into that situation last night, there was no way I was if April was with me, you're SOL, because I gotta go. We ain't got time to stop and, you know, piddle and diddle and whatever else you do. Nope. And sometimes you get into situations like that. But again, you know, like afterwards, after I accepted that load and, you know, realized what was going on and everything, I was so upset. Not, I was mad. And then I'm thinking to myself, I've got nobody to be mad at but myself. I can't be mad at her. I can't be mad at the other driver because it took him 4.5 instead of 2.5 hours to do 140 miles. But I've got nobody to be mad at but myself. I'm the one that accepted it when the little voice in the back of my head was saying, don't do it. Don't do it. I said, sure, I'll do it. So I said, from now on, I got to learn how to take my own advice. Yep. Yeah, buddy. I gotta get out of this area. You know, sometimes when you look at people and you just know they're sketchy, there's a lot of people here that are sketchy. Listen to the little apper on your shoulder instead of in your ear. Yeah. You know, if I would have listened to myself, I would have saved myself a lot of headaches in my life. Yep. Had I just listened, live and you learn. It is raining and thunderstorms in Iowa. Iowa. Yeah. It's clear here. It's supposed to pick up. Well, I'm supposed to hit rain most of the night. I'm kind of hoping that it tapers off. It looked like that it might. It was light rain, but I just hate driving at night in the rain. And with me going to pick up this load in Virginia, I don't even know the route that I'm going to take yet to get up to, you know, or over to Edward. Slow down. I don't know the road or the route that I'm going to take to get over to Edwardsville, Illinois. But I am hoping that the rain does taper off. Iowa wanna go home. Iowa will make you wanna go home. Let's see. Hold on. I'll actually, let me, come on. Get in there. I'm actually going to, I'll trip plan this while I'm live. How about that? Let's do a Trucker Al trip plan. First of all, oh, that dog is gorgeous. hold on. We are going to make a trip plan. So what I do, we have our little trip guides, which this is what we send in through the workflow, or the TransFlow app. You can do either one. Creed has their own, but so what I typically do, let me shed some light on the situation here. It's starting to get dark quick. So what I do is I take one off. This is for this load. Okay? I use the back side of it to write everything down that I need to do. So, I never get mad or anxious. Jesus saves the day. I default knowing. Yep. Oh, let's see. I am going to, oh dear God, now everyone we may have here a while. Have your popcorn ready. Yeah, buddy. Come on. That's one thing I hate about summer. Freaking bugs. Alright. I go through, and I do this because when I was in training, this is the way that my trainer did it, and this is the way that I train my students. April says she's making coffee. So, that freaking heap of the week. And I was told to do this for one particular reason, because these are electronics, they do go down, and sometimes you may not be able to get back into it to get the information you need. So what I do is I take the back side of this paper and I write down all of the information that I could possibly need right here. This way, if that does crash, I have everything that I need. So, trip number, and then on the right side I do trailer number, temp, pieces, weight, and seal number, which that information you get after, obviously, you get up there. I mean, ours is a preloaded trailer, so we're going to take this one up. In fact, I typically write down 39525. 39525. Typically, I write down the trailer that I have now, the empty, because a lot of times when you get to the shippers, they're going to ask you what's the empty trailer you have. Well, if you don't remember and you got to go out and look, and I'm going to show you another easy way to do all this. So we're going to go to Hershey. So it's a Hershey load. Let's see. Some of this information I can't. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. Can't give it, specific information, but I'll give you the rundown. So, trip number, the address of the shipper. We're in Stewart's Draft. And that's in Stewart's Draft, Virginia. Zip code, because you'd be surprised at how many places have the same exact address in the same area, but they might be like 1 or 2 digits off on the zip code. So you always have that. There's no overnight parking, which you don't need. Reefer temp between 55 and 60. I always go with the lowest number, so we'll say 55 is what they're calling for. And now our reefers are a little bit different than others. So instead of like a crate, you can go through the computer system on the reefer trailer and set the reefer for produce or meat or ice cream or whatever. Here, it's start and stop or continuous. So think of it like the furnace in your house or the AC in your house. You set the temperature to a certain temperature. If you have it on continuous, that reefer is going to run non-stop. It doesn't shut off, and it'll maintain a certain whatever temperature you have it set at. If you have it on start and stop, it kind of fluctuates like your furnace does at home. So if you set the temperature on your thermostat at home to 70, when your house gets to about 66, 68, your furnace kicks on, brings it back up to 70, and then shuts off. And then it drops down, and it'll kick back on, bring it back up to 70. That's start and stop. Let's see, this picks up anytime. It's already ready, so we ain't got to worry about that. The pickup number, we got 4, 6. The weight and pieces I don't ever write down until I get the paperwork. So now, luckily enough, this one here actually tells me the trailer that my stuff is loaded on. So we got 838059. So it's a newer trailer, so that's nice. And the consignee, which is the receiver, of course, Hershey. Now, the other thing with these Hershey loads, they always give out candy. I love doing Hershey loads. And the Hershey guys, you know, I don't know if anybody from Hershey in Edwardsville, Illinois ever watches my videos, but shout out to you guys. I never have a problem going into Edwardsville Hershey plant. You guys are awesome. That drops off anytime before midnight on 5/15. We got way more than enough time to get it there. And then empty miles, 27, and loaded miles, 719. So now I know what I'm getting paid. So like this one here, what I'll do, we got 227 empty miles, 719 loaded. Let's see, 9 and 7 is 16, or so 946 miles on that one. Trucker P, what's going on, buddy? Bugs just like being around you because of your egg of a head. I have an egg-shaped head? Man, that hat's tight. I don't have an egg-shaped head. Better get your freaking eyes checked. This is what our reefers do. You can put them on continuous. Yep. So, wait a minute. What happened? I need to see these comments. See, now here's the other thing. If you guys are here over at Creed or Schaefer and you guys are using the PeopleNet to go through your load assignment, I recommend getting the app, the driver app, because the comment section, it's the last line, you know, in your load assignment. You can only read what's there. You may have 15 lines of information, but you can only read the first line. So what I do, you're enjoying being back in the truck. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I love being out here. I've always enjoyed the truck. It's just the outside stress is what kills it. So what I do is I go into the app. Now, our app, I can see all of the messages. I get all of the information right from the app. So what I can't see on the computer, I can see here. So now we have a crap ton of different pickup numbers. And what I typically do is if you have a ton of numbers that are in the load assignment, hang on, 004236. I typically write down all of these numbers because chances are when you get there, even though this says bill of lading number or pickup number, chances are it's wrong. So I write down all the numbers, and then when I get to the shipper, they'll be like, okay, what's your pickup number? Tell me what it starts with, because I've got a shit ton of numbers. They'll be like, okay, 0004. Okay, and then I give them the rest. But yeah, this is insane. Load can be dropped early. They're open 24 hours before leaving the receiver, blah, blah, blah. All right, so now I'm going to write down the fuel stops. So we got a Love's I-64 exit 21. That's in Lowmore, Virginia. Now, here's something that I really can't stand. When they have me stop at a place to get fuel, and I can only put in so many gallons of fuel. Why not just let me fill up? I mean, obviously the fuel price is low enough where I could, like this one here says 88 gallons. You give me another 15, 20 gallons, I'm going to fill the tanks. Is it that big of a deal? No, we want you to go up to Troy, Illinois to the TA to fill up there instead. I-55, exit 18. Alright, so now, I mean, this load here, I don't really have to dig too deep as far as, trip planning it. Because this, like I said, it picks up anytime, it drops off anytime. So I'm not pressed for time to get it there or to not get it there. So, I don't really have to trip plan it really. I mean, I've got everything written down that I need. We're going to cut this video here shortly, and then we'll go over, pick up the load, and get it moving. And I'll get it up there, seeing that I can drop it off at any time. So the faster I get it up there and drop it off, the faster I get my next load. But seeing that we're now in the middle of the week, okay, being it a Wednesday night, I only have about 1,000 miles, which is fine. I'll have this load there some point tomorrow. Nope. I'll have it there Friday morning. Because I'm thinking I'm driving throughout the night tonight. I shut down. I'll probably still have a couple of 100 miles to go. So, yeah, I'll have it there Friday morning. But with me having this there Friday morning, our payroll ends at midnight. So what I'll do is I'll drop this off Friday morning, send the paperwork in. Like I said, payroll ends Friday at midnight. So all of your paperwork has to be in by midnight. Now, I'll get another load for Friday, but obviously I'm not going to have it finished by Friday night. So that load will go on to the following week. So I'll have a day's head start for the following paycheck. And it's just little, different things to look into. So now, like right now, what I'm doing, thinking about my drive tonight, I'm going to pull up the radar just to double check the weather. So we're going to go up to Virginia. And, like I said, it looks like that the rain's dissipating. So I don't have to worry about any weather. Looks like all the rain is up north. Yeah, Iowa, a little bit up in northern Illinois, but... So, if we go over to Virginia, chances are we're going to drive through Kentucky and up into Illinois from there. Possibly we might go through Indiana a little bit, but, just looking at the map. So, there's my trip plan. I mean, like I said, I don't have to worry about timing or anything like that. I have everything I need written down. I mean, trip planning is pretty easy. Now, okay, so the total mileage is 946 miles. So you can sit here and estimate, okay, 946 miles, even if I did 500 miles on a drive shift, which is very low for me, but even if you did 500 miles, you can do that in under 2 full drive shifts. So that's why I said, if I drive tonight into tomorrow, shut down tomorrow morning, start back up tomorrow night, shut down or be there Friday morning, that's when, okay, now I can estimate a roundabout time as to when I'll be at the receiver. If this load had a specific time, you would determine whether or not you can make it on time, and if you can't, then you call and have the load rescheduled. Or they would T-call it and let somebody else take the load from you that still has more time on their clock that can continue driving while you shut down. But the biggest thing, and you guys will hear me say this all the time, communication. It's huge. So let me bring back up here. Yeah, buddy, what's good? What's going on, Derek? This is what the reefers do. We went from PeopleNet to Qualcomm. Why? Dude, the PeopleNet is way better than the Qualcomm. Way more stable. I'm not even talking about just going through and, you know, the process of everything. Just the whole stability of it. Did you get the new recruiter? David, no, not yet. The recruiter that I was going to get is apparently on vacation. So I had a choice of either trying to get somebody else. Tomorrow morning, actually, they're supposed to be calling me with the actual recruiter. I don't know what's going on with the one that I had. She, like I said, she was supposedly on vacation this week and stuff like that, because I've got a lot of people that are asking me for a recruiter's information. But I know Hatch was somebody that was inquiring information. I don't know if he's going to watch this video or if he'll even make it this far. But I can even tell him and tell you guys now. Crete has stopped hiring new drivers as far as anybody that needs training. Now, if you are already here and you're in training, you're fine. You're good to go. They'll finish out your training. You'll be fine. They are no longer, for now, because of this COVID-19 crap, they're no longer taking students who require training. So now Crete is telling everybody that you have to have at least 1 year's experience to be hired on here. For now. That's just until this COVID-19 crap is over. Because a lot of the trainers, and I don't blame them, they don't want multiple people in their truck. And I can't blame them. Which is better, reefer or dry van? I prefer reefer. That's more of a personal preference. I mean, I can go either way with it. I mean, dry vans, you get a little bit heavier loads. The reefer, you get lighter loads because you have the weight of the reefer unit on the trailer, so you tend to get a little bit lighter loads. But it does take a little bit of getting used to sleeping with the reefer on. Especially if you have a reefer that's on start and stop. You know, you may go to bed and it's nice and quiet. You got the truck off, perfect weather out, and all of a sudden that reefer starts up. It will scare the shit out of you, you know, the first couple of times. But, you know, I've been doing reefer so long, I've actually done this before where, you know, if I don't have a load in the trailer and I'm shut down for the night, it gets too quiet in here. I mean, I have fans running and stuff, sometimes the TV on, but sometimes it gets too quiet in here. You get used to needing the reefer to sleep. There's been times where I'll go back there, turn the reefer on, even an empty trailer, turn the reefer on just so I can go to sleep. Now, obviously, I can't do that if I have a dry load in there, but yeah, if I have an empty trailer, and I've done it before, I'll kick that reefer right on, and then next thing you know, I pass out. But you know, when it comes to picking one, that's personal preference, whatever you want to do, and you can switch it too. I mean, if you come over here and, you know, you're running dry van and you want to try reefer, you know, you can very easily call up and say, hey, you know, I want to switch over to reefer, or vice versa. You know, if you start out, you know, doing reefer and you just can't get used to sleeping with the reefer on, switch over to dry van. I know that's what the company wanted. Yeah. Reefers are better to me. And I agree. I mean, I'm a reefer guy through and through. I mean, I sleep with the TV on, and maybe I'll try a reefer. Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you don't like it, you can always change it. I mean, that's not hard to do. The pay is a little bit different. You get paid more for doing reefer than you do dry van. But as far as the mileage and stuff like that, I couldn't tell you what the difference is. I have no idea what the dry van drivers are getting. But, alright guys, we're going to cut things here. I need to pre-trip the truck. I need to get ready to roll. And go get this load picked up and have a fun night of driving. So, I will be back on in a few days on YouTube. I'll probably do another live video here shortly. You know, thank you, you know, to you that, you know, sent over the super chats. I appreciate it. You know, appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I appreciate everybody coming in, all the comments. You get great questions tonight. Let's see. You have a good night. Be safe. Thanks, Kendall. Appreciate it, buddy. And yeah, so I'll be back on in a few days, and we'll answer any more questions you guys got. And I'll see you guys soon.